Hey, we're going to talk about this one word today that is pretty much self-sabotaging you, all the success that you could be having. And this one little word, really, it's so simple to say and it's so simple to do, and we're constantly saying it and not really reflecting on. So we're going to learn a quick fix on how to fix that. So for those of you that don't know me and we don't know each other, my name is Zack Miller, the Organic Nerd. So let's get on with it. Today we're going to talk about this one word that literally is holding us back from success and a quick fix to it. So that one word is tomorrow. I found myself, saying tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. My wife's like, hey, we need this done. Let's just do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. Today I'm just relaxing. I'm kind of hanging out. Tomorrow's good. Tomorrow's good for me. And what I found was I just kept saying it every day. Tomorrow. I don't got time today. I'll just handle that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. We'll definitely 100% we'll get to it tomorrow. And I found that tomorrow, the word tomorrow, was really taking over my vocabulary. And I found myself getting lazier and lazier with certain things, especially the honeydew list. The honeydew list was a definitely tomorrow. We'll get to that tomorrow. I'm real busy, watching TV. I'm real busy, I'm exhausted. I'll do all that tomorrow, I promise. And tomorrow never comes. Let's face it. I use the word tomorrow out of fear mostly. I just don't want to do that. It's unknown. Man, I'll get on that tomorrow. Or, it wasn't in my plans of things to do. It didn't benefit me. So I kept saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, that tomorrow never came. And I see people saying it quite a bit, and I've chatted with quite a few people about this word that's really holding us back from success, and almost everybody uses it. Whether it's fear of putting themselves out there, maybe doing a Facebook Live, or it's a fear of, seeing someone, maybe you're in the car and you're driving down, you see a homeless person, and you just want to help people, but that fear, and you're like, I'll give him some food tomorrow. I'll give him money tomorrow. I'll give him water tomorrow. Or, maybe it's you're at work and there's a board meeting and you have this amazing idea and you're nervous about putting yourself out there, and you're like, in your mind, you're like, you know what? Next board meeting, tomorrow, for sure. Tomorrow I'm going to stand up. Maybe you're at work and you're working your butt off, just hustling and getting things done. You're the go-to guy. Everyone wants to pile the work on you because you get stuff done. And man, you start thinking to yourself, man, I deserve a raise. I've been working hard. I've been here for a while. And then that fear creeps into you. And you're like, well, wait a minute, what happens if they start treating me differently? What happens if they start looking at me differently? You know what? I'll ask for that raise tomorrow. I'll definitely ask for it tomorrow. And we put off today what we could do today and step forward. And we live in this fear of, man, I don't like change. Change is uncomfortable. And we're fearing something, whatever it is. We're fearing it, and the word tomorrow is really holding us back. And the reason it's holding us back is we're not taking that initiative. And in life, I believe you're walking forward, you're taking steps forward every single day, or if you're not taking action or doing what needs to be done, you're standing still. And if you're standing still, you're actually taking steps backwards. So we got to eliminate this word tomorrow. I've completely eliminated it out of my vocabulary. I don't say tomorrow anymore. Anything happens in my life, I do it right away. And I found by doing it right away, number one, you go to bed at night and you just feel accomplished. You feel like you accomplished everything. At the end of the day, you have zero regrets. You may have asked for that raise and you didn't get it, but at least you know where you stand. And sometimes that word tomorrow, it keeps us in limbo. Kind of keeps us in that limbo state of we don't really know where we're at. We don't really know where we stand. Nothing's really happening, progressing. And whatever that is, whether that's business, whether that's finances, relationships, spirituality, whatever that is, the word tomorrow, and you can substitute, if you don't use tomorrow, you can substitute your word in, but you know what I'm talking about. We're just putting things off where we could get things done. And why do we do that? And I already said fear. Fear's a big one. And it's not that we're scared necessarily to do it. We're just we're fearing failure. Because when you fail, there's nowhere else to go. You know, a lot of people think failure is it's over. That's it. We're done. You know, we failed. We're nothing. There's nowhere to go from there. And the problem is if you're not doing anything about it and you're constantly putting it off, well, you're technically failing. You're not advancing. You're not fulfilling your purpose for that day. So eliminate the word failure. And how do we do that? Well, I started reading. Let me rewind that back. I don't really read books. I don't have time to read books. I'm not a big reader. If I have time, I read. But what I found is I turned my car into a drive time university. And I actually listen to audiobooks. So while I'm driving, instead of listening to the radio, which is complete, kind of just filler time, I guess, I turned my car into a drive time university where I'm constantly listening to mindset. I'm constantly looking and listening to ways to improve my life. And let's face it, the mind is the strongest muscle you possibly have. If you're not constantly working it out, you're going to fall into that tomorrow phase. And I started listening to this book by Mel Gibbons called The 5-Second Rule. And if you haven't heard about it, highly recommend you go out, either get the audio, I use Audible, or you can get the book and just sit down and read the book. But the book is amazing. It's changed my life. And the reason being is Mel teaches a very simple way to eliminate tomorrow, to eliminate procrastination, to eliminate everything that's going to hold you back in life and put you into action towards what you're looking for. And it's very simple. The way the 5-second rule works is whenever you have an idea, whenever you want to do something, whenever someone says anything to you that they want you to do, and that thought creeps into your mind of fear, or I don't want to do it, or I just don't feel like it. That's another big one. Man, I just don't feel like it. No one cares whether you feel like it or not. Your kids don't care whether you feel like getting up in the morning. And if they're young and they can't take care of themselves, they don't care whether you feel about it or not. Feelings have nothing to do really with progressing towards your goals. So when you have that kind of brief minute of you don't feel like it and you hesitate for a minute and you start thinking about, what do they want me to do? Do I really want to do that? Do I not want to do that? What you do is you just start counting backwards from 5. So for instance, I'll give you an example. If my wife says, hey, can you go out and get toilet paper? Well, if it's 9 o'clock at night, I don't feel like it. I've been out all day. I don't feel like it, but it's got to get done. And I could say, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'll do it. Will I do it? I don't know. It's a 50-50 chance. I could put it off another day. But what I found is if I can interrupt that thought process of tomorrow, I don't feel like it, and I start counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it switches my thought process, and what I say after it is kind of rated R. I say, screw it. Let's do it. And I put myself into action. So if you're asking for that promotion or you think you deserve a raise and you just haven't caught the courage to ask it, what happens is you think, oh man, now's the perfect time to ask for that raise. And then you hesitate. And when you hesitate, your mind starts talking you out of it. And that's normal. That's normal. Your mind talking you out of it. Our minds are prehistoric. Our minds and our brain is actually wired to keep us safe, to keep us in a safe place, out of fear, out of harm's way. And what happens is nowadays, when you live in that safe place, you miss out. So when you hesitate, your mind already starts the negativity. Well, he'll probably say no. Man, do I really deserve it? Have I really been working that hard? And your mind starts doubting and fearing and talking yourself out of it to keep you safe because your mind, your brain doesn't want to harm you. So it's that fear or flight. And if you interrupt that with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you've distracted that thought process. And if you just take that step, you'll create motion. You'll create that action. And over time, by doing the 5-second rule, and one of it's just noticing. A lot of times when I first started, I didn't notice that that was occurring. And after I started listening to the audiobook and I started realizing perception, I started realizing that, wow, you know, I am kind of talking myself out in one way or the other, whatever it is. And I started realizing that when I did it, and I started implementing the 5-second rule, I started thinking, why shouldn't I do it? Why not do it? What's the worst thing that can happen? Nothing. The worst thing that can happen is as I get the answer, and now I know another plan to put into action to get done what I want anyway, because there's multiple ways to do things. But if you don't start doing them, you'll never know. So the 5-second rule is crucial. A very easy way to implement the 5-second rule. If you're kind of worried, you're like, well, you know, I want to ask for that raise, but I don't want to do it right now. An easy way to get yourself into that frame of mind is tomorrow morning, when you go to wake up tomorrow morning, set your alarm for a half an hour earlier than you would. And if it's the weekend and you don't set the alarm on the weekend, set the alarm. Set it for earlier than what you would get up. Push yourselves outside your bounds. Set the alarm for a half an hour before. If it's during the weekday you're watching this, set it for a half an hour earlier than you normally wake up. And when you wake up, you're not going to feel like getting out of bed, right? You're not going to feel like doing it because it's a half an hour earlier and you want to sleep and you're going to want to hit that snooze button. But if you do the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, throw the covers off and jump out of bed, I guarantee you your day is going to be a heck of a lot better than if you just continue to hit that snooze button, hit it, and then finally just drag yourself out of bed. So that's an easy way to implement it. If you're not going to dive feet first into the 5-second rule and really implement it into your life and all the, I'll do it tomorrow, I don't feel like it, you know, whether it's the raise, whether it's starting a new business, whether it's, you know, raising your hand in a business meeting to give your ideas because you're fearing something and man, you'll do it next meeting. Or maybe you're in a networking business where you have to actually go out and talk to people and create the business and get your brand, get your awareness out there so that people know what you're doing, and you're fearing that. You're like, I'll build it tomorrow, you know. You see the perfect prospect and you're like, I'll talk to him next time I see him. You know, you see someone that really needs a product that you have, that you sell, and you're like, I'll see him again next time. Implement that 5-second rule. Start, notice it, catch it, count back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and step your foot in that direction, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your hand up or say, I have an idea, and go from there, right? Maybe it's you're in a bar and you see a real attractive woman on the other side, or maybe you're a woman and you see an attractive man on the other side of the room, and you're really attracted to him and you're like, wow, I wonder what he's all about. I wonder. But yet you're scared or you're nervous to go over there. Just count back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and step in that direction. Head in that direction. You know, you're going to be nervous, your stomach's going to be turning, but do it anyway, and I guarantee you good things will turn out of it. Because what I've found is by doing the 5-second rule, I'm constantly getting things done on a daily basis that I kept saying tomorrow. My wife's happier, my kids are happier, my business is growing. So doing the 5-second rule, eliminating the tomorrow, I don't feel like it out of my vocabulary, is creating habits that are putting positive things in my life. It's making my relationship with my wife even stronger and better. It's making my relationship with my kids even stronger and better. It's putting my business into momentum and getting momentum going within my business. So the tomorrow that I don't feel like it can easily be eliminated by the 5-second rule. And if you're just joining us now and we're live, it's Mel Gibbons, The 5-Second Rule, amazing life-changing book or audio. I listen to audio. And that simple 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, screw it, I'm doing it, has really changed my life. So I'm going to hop off here. Just want to do a quick mindset training. And if you haven't read the book or heard it, highly recommend it. Mel Gibbons' 5-second rule is going to eliminate the I'll do it tomorrow, I don't feel like it, I'm scared, I'm nervous of putting myself out there. And I promise you it'll put you in a better direction. You know, a couple days from now, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you're going to be in a totally different spot and you're going to be better for it. Talk to you soon.